G'day guys and welcome back to another hunt. I'm just, you can see I'm in the bush behind me. I'm just about to head into my hunting area and we've got about a 36-hour window of time. So I'll be going in here and just doing some classic bush hunting really. So I'm just about probably 500, 600 metres back from the actual hunting area. And we're going to get into it and see what we can find. G'day guys, I'm Stan from Hard Antler Hunting. I live in New Zealand and have some of the best backcountry landscapes to hunt. So come along and join me as I venture out into this beautiful wilderness. Right, excited. I love the roar. So as you probably can't hear it, but basically within about a 24-hour period we've got, right now it's a northerly that's swinging to a westerly, and then we've got about tonight at about 8 PM it swings to an easterly, and then in the middle of the night it turns to a southerly. And then tomorrow morning it turns to a nor'wester again. So the wind is going to be very difficult. I don't know if you can see the trees moving up behind me here. It's pretty windy, guys. So that's going to make it very, very tricky. So the valley I'm actually hunting is a really long valley, and it basically, I think I'm going to ruin the first part of it this afternoon, because I'm going to try and camp between the two valleys so that when it turns to the south then I can hunt into the headwind, but right now I just can't. It's like swirling all over the show. So what we're going to do is I did see there are a couple of footprints in the riverbed down below, but they disappeared up a different valley, so I'm feeling really confident I'm the only one in here unless someone's come in from the other side. But so what we're going to do is just tiptoe through this bush here and just roar my way down carefully. But I think if we do bump into an old stag, he could very easily come around and scent us, so we'll see how we go. Just came through this area, up through here, sort of 15 metres down there. I could smell deer, and I come up in here and I think we got some scraping. There's a snapped off twig there, a snapped off tree there, another tree that's been rubbed and snapped. So I'm picking there's a stag that's been stripping his antlers in here. So we're just going to, it's full of supplejack and that, so it's pretty tricky, but just going to carry on through and up and around up here, see if we can't get onto them. Pigs. pretty cool. It's all these pigs. Oh, I'm not going to shoot a pig. Not during the roar. They're 2 80-pounders, something like that. Cool, see? Could be something else here though. Right guys, I actually really like where I am at the moment. I've just seen those pigs. Well, I've been waiting half an hour guys and nothing happened. So yeah, so I'm sort of getting into the headwaters now of this valley. Yeah, so I'm going to make my way up to the top. The wind's kind of chilling out a little bit as well, which is good. And I'll make my way up to the top and then drop down into the next valley. I haven't heard a single roar yet today, so I did hear a rumour that some of the Remutakas was done with. I'm still looking for deer. Some of the Remutakas was done with no deer repellent, so hopefully that's not this area, I don't know, for poisoning, so we'll see how we go. But I think we jump into the next basin. But there's a lot of pigs in here. There is a lot of pigs in here. If you're a pig hunter, send me a private message, I'll tell you where they are. I'll give you GPS coordinates, because I don't really hunt pigs. So I found a skull as well of a pig that had been shot just down there. Yeah, so there's a lot of pigs in here, guys. So I'll be packing the 284 Winchester today, running the 180 grain ELD match. So really good projectile, and it's going nice and fast. So hoping we get to use that today in a stag. That'd be great. So I'm now, as soon as I hit that sign, I'm actually right on top of the ridge for my next valley over. So I'll just follow this game trail, and it should take me into the headwaters of the river, or the start of a new river. And maybe there'll be some wallows or... Just heard 2 gunshots. No idea where they are. They sounded there, first one. The second one sounded where I'm going. So hopefully there's no one in there. It's beautiful though. Beautiful bit of beech forest that I'm walking up. I'm nearly at the top. So I've just climbed up. I just climbed up a fair way. Probably 300 metres up. But once I get to the top, I'm going to be real careful with that wind, because it's all over the map and that's my good part down there. So I don't want to ruin that. People would like to know where those gunshots were. There's one other car in the car park. One other car, and I checked another car park and there was no one there, so, but it could be, I don't know, you just never know. Just gotta be very, very careful. Lunchtime. So, yeah, quite a cool area. There's like a stream over there next to me, and another stream running through there. So, I'm trying to be in an area where my wind doesn't just carry on down the valley. I went over there to have lunch, 100 metres that way, and the wind was going the other way. Here, it's going the right way. So it's just swirling really badly up here. So what I'm going to do is have lunch, have a coffee. Oh, I'm so looking forward to a coffee. Have a coffee and move down the river just a little bit, so I can see if I can just figure out what the heck's going on with the wind, because I don't want to ruin. I've got about 3 k's straight down bush stalking. I don't want to ruin it. So yeah. Check what's for lunch. Alright. Creamy mushroom and potato soup. Nice mocha. And another mocha. Sugar free. Don't want to get fat. That's what's for lunch, guys. Oh yeah. Ready to rumble. Okay, the art of mixing the mocha. Taking me 10 years to figure this out. But what you gotta do is you gotta go like this. Whoop. You gotta pretend it's a tennis ball. It's taken me 10 years to figure out how to mix these properly. Yeah. Ooh. There you go. Otherwise, they always have powder in them. How to mix the mocha. Just throw it in. Just play a little game of catch with each other, or throw it with each other, and you'll be sweet. Sweet, guys. We're all tanked up with water, and I've got a 380 metre climb right in front of me here. I'm going to get out of the flats. The wind is just too all over the show, so I've got to get off this valley floor. Yeah, so I've got all my water I need for drinking and cooking. I'm going to take this ridge up. I'm going to get on top of this massive plateau area. The plateau is marked on a map that's big. So there's a big plateau there. Don't know if there'll be water there. Hopefully we can just camp off to the side of it and evening hunt through to the night time. So no roars yet, heaps of pig sign, and not a lot of deer sign, so see if this plan works up here. Alright guys, on this trip I'd really like to talk about this scope. I've had the scope for, I don't know, about a year now, something like that. And what I was really looking for in a scope was, basically I had a Leupold VX5 that every time I took it out I was quite nervous about breaking it, smashing it. And with the price of a VX5 being $2,100, $2,200, I actually moved that scope on and did a lot of research on different scopes. So what I ended up with was this puppy here, and I really rate this scope. This is a Vixen 2.5 to 15 by 50, and I'll tell you why I chose this scope. Number one is it is quite a bit more affordable than the VX5. It basically has the same power range. It also has illumination, which is nice. It has parallax. You can see there on that side there, it has parallax. It's a 30mm tube. It has Japanese ED glass. So the glass quality from this, low light testing compared to my VX5, was, the difference was, it was not really, you couldn't really pick it up. I really like this scope. I think this is an extremely well made scope. It tracks well. It just does everything it needs to, and I have no issues with this scope. I did have a Bushnell, what was it? Oh yeah, I did have a Bushnell Elite 416, one of their new ones, but it broke. So that was it. I'd sent it back and said, keep it. I don't want it. I don't want the stuff breaking. So for me, I hunt in real rocky sort of terrain, and I don't want a $2,000 scope sitting on top of my rifle. This is a $1,200 scope that I believe does everything the VX5 does. I also prefer a covered turret. But this one's great as well because the turrets are pop-up. You don't need tools. There's nothing about this scope that I can say that I don't like. I find the crosshairs set on 2 really good. It starts getting dark. The illumination is very fine as well. It doesn't take over the whole screen. It doesn't take over the whole reticle. And I've just gone for a standard reticle, but it's just a duplex, but it's nice and heavy on the sides. So if you're in the bush here and you've got it on 2, you can actually, I can actually see the end of my suppressor. You can actually find it really quickly, but shooting groups out at 15 power and long range hunting is really good. So if you're looking for a really nice, kind of affordable, do-it-all scope, bush and long range, which is what the VX5 has been traditionally for a long time, I would check out the Vixen. Little tip, guys, cut the old cutter sleeve off an old puffer jacket, wrap it on the end of your hammock, stops all the draft from coming through. Works really well. Yep. Definitely going to have to set up the flyer tonight because there's a bit of rain coming through. This is a knot I really like. Well, it's not actually a knot. It's a friction knot. So all that holds it is friction, basically. You can pull it tight and it won't move. So pretty much there's one down that end of the tarp as well. And it just pulls it really tight. And when you come to do it, you don't have to undo any knots or anything. Got my ridge line. I found a bone. It's actually quite a nice sized deer bone. So someone shot a deer here. But yeah, basically there's my ridge line, which is really tight. Really tight. And that's, then I actually, you can actually see that here. The tarp is separate to the ridge line. That's a good way of doing it, because you're just using the actual strong points of the tarp. Use one of these here for tensioning. Come through there twice. Keeps it all nice and tensioned. So yeah, that's about it really. So you'll notice that it does slope back down that way. So there you go, guys. There's my bush camp. Yeah, it's quite good. You just got to make sure that little things like these little ropes down here are all nicely ready to go, because if you do actually get water that runs in, and then it can drip down rather than running into the bottom of your sleeping bag. So, but yeah, I love the setup. It's fantastic. It's really good. Well, unfortunately that was not the kind of day I was hoping for. It was nice to see those two pigs, but I didn't hear a single roar. So that's not so flash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bit of dinner, and I'm going to stay really nice and quiet. I'm just going to keep listening to see if I can hear any roars. But tomorrow morning, I'm pretty much going to walk out. If I don't hear any roars, I'm out of here. Yeah. Yep. Hey, it's still really good. Good fitness training. So, seen some really, really beautiful bush, but anyway, dinner time. It's probably half an hour flight, so I'm going to go and sit on the other side of the ridge and roar right through till dark, and hopefully something responds. Hopefully something comes and visits me in the night. Good morning, guys. It's the next morning. Just having my morning coffee. Didn't hear any roars over the night at all. Nothing. So I've been roaring a little bit this morning as well, but nothing's responding, so yeah, which I find really weird. Really, really weird. But it's okay. I had a couple of goats respond down here, but it's not quite what we're after. So had a little bit of rain last night, about 3 mils of rain, which was cool. Which is actually really good, because it just gets rid of my scent path all the way back through where I came from. So it's really good. It's really good. So anyway, I'm going to have some breakfast. Probably drop down into the main gully again. So I'm camped up at 380 metres. Drop down to the main gully and just see if we can get onto a bit of deer sign and just learn the area a little bit better. But yeah, a bit disappointing. It's like, funny the roar. I find the roar in the Remutakas, it's either like, it's about a week of a window. It's either all go for a week, or you just hear nothing and you miss it, because the deer are in really isolated little pockets. So there you go. And then all the satellite stags are all going around those little isolated pockets that are really, really like pinpoint where the deer actually are. So yeah, coming into a new area just hasn't worked this time, unfortunately. So, but anyway, I'll have some breakfast and get into the day. Just using her as checking my wind. Little goat there. Seems to be that, yeah. I think the thermals are already switched. They're coming up because she has no idea that I'm here. So it's good. I'll carry on down. this is full of pig sign and goat sign, so and nothing roaring. So I bumped into that big mob of goats through here. Like big. There was a lot of goats. I just waited and about 6 more came down, and then this guy was walking through there with them, and I thought, ooh, he's got his horns actually curled back around. He actually looks pretty good. So I had a real good look at him and I thought, he's not going to go 30 inches spread, which is the that's classified as a trophy goat. But measuring him, he's 24.5 inches. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. So I'll take a bit of his meat off his back legs for the dog at home. And yeah, he's not a trophy, but it's probably the best goat I've shot in the bush. Be the best goat I've ever shot in the bush. So yeah, I saw his goatee hanging way down, and I was like, oh yeah, he's an old goat. But then after I shot, there was probably 20 or 25 goats that ran off through here. It was just, oof. Right, I better get to work because it's raining. But yeah, not bad. The 284 put him down real quick. So even at that distance, the 180 still exited nicely. So I'll have a look at that, just assess that damage as well. Kind of keen to know. Yeah, all good. On campsite as well. Nails on the trees. Piece of plastic shelter. It's old. Well, this one is. You know that's a farmer, eh? Because that's baling twine. Cool. Very cool. Check out this tree. Look at the roots. They come right down. Completely exposed. And look at this. They run right down into there. It's amazing. Look at this one. Who knows where it ends? There, maybe. I mean, it's like his roots are like 20 meters long. That's so cool. There's another one here. Run right up, right down. The pigs have been digging in here. See, been digging through in here. Funny, because this was probably all. It was probably all from the pigs in there. The ground height would have been like a metre high, that kind of thing, and then erosion, and it's amazing. I love that. Right, guys. That's me. I'm pretty much about 1 kilometre away out of the bush. I've got a goat in my bag, which is slowing me down a little bit for dog food. But I tried to sidle across, get to that stag, and he just wasn't making any more noise. So I probably closed the gap about 1 kilometre on him, and I just nothing. So that's me. That's the hunt. That's my hunting that I'm going to do for the raw. And yeah, see you on the next one.